Cheryl and I are here today. We're announcing I'm going to be running for the 12th District Senate seat in 2016. Just some details, which I know you all know the details, but you may not have these at the top of mind, so to speak. But right now the primary is scheduled for March 8th, 2016. There's some talk that may be moving back. But you have to prepare for that to be the first contest, which means that early voting starts in February, or really about 10 months from now. And right now there's a lot of Lincoln Day dinners, and of course we'll have the summer fair season and those things around the district. So we've actually thought about that for this seat for a number of years. Our early involvement with it was when we helped Jim Jordan in the 2000 race way back when. And of course, you all know that I've been with the House of Representatives for 8 years, and after talking about a lot of other responsibilities, the fact that our kids are all grown, it gives me an opportunity to spend some more time in a bigger district. The 12th district is 7 counties, or at least parts of 7 counties. So it's obviously a different responsibility. Growing up in Lima, spending my whole life here, practicing law here, big family, it's easy to get to know people, and you run across them one way or the other, good or bad. And when this will be a different type of situation. So that's the main reason, really, why I didn't want to just simply send out a press release or have a press conference at my office in downtown, which I've done with the previous times that I've announced either as a city council president race or for the House of Representatives. So today I'm going to be starting, of course, here in Lima, and then I'm going to be traveling to all of the 7 counties, going to the county seats in each of the other 6 counties, and basically just doing an announcement and letting folks know who I am. And obviously there's a lot of things that are going to happen between now and the primary election and the general election in November. And but one thing I guess a lot of people have asked me is, well, are you going to run? And I have been to a number of events around the district. I actually spoke at the Logan County Republican Party lunch in February on the balanced budget topic, and that is, those are things that, and I'm involved in a couple of other things around the state also. But I think it's important for people who are in the counties in the 12th district to know that I'm going to be running, and so that's why we're announcing it today. It's a little bit superfluous, I guess, for me to try to explain to a group, the local Lima media, what I'm about, since I've been in elected office for 23 years. And most of you have either seen me speak publicly or read about in the newspaper, seeing the good, the bad, and the ugly. I did include a couple of quotes I thought that were at least tried to sound intelligent anyway, and a little bit about myself. And again, I think most of that probably you know. But you're not going to see anything different from me in the Senate than you would in the House. I think I represent fiscal conservative values, fiscal social values, or conservative social values, and the votes that I've taken over the last 8 years in the House and 15 years in City Council are a pretty good example of that. I continue to believe that the income tax is the worst tax that government can impose on people, because it's a tax on motivation. It's a tax on work. The harder a tax that says the harder you work, the more you pay is just a really, really bad idea. And so the things that we've been able to do to reduce the income tax, especially the small business self-employment income tax in the state of Ohio, I think are very important. I'm going to continue to be a proponent of pro-life issues. defender of the Second Amendment, a defender of really any, I'm heavily opposed to any federal government involvement in state issues, in particular, you know, the Common Core educational issues that have come up recently. The federal government does a lot of things very poorly because of its size and its lack of agility, and that's simply a matter of logistics. And so trying to impose, for example, educational policy on a nation of 315 million people from Washington is always going to turn out to be a bad idea. Obviously, the federal government needs to do certain things like provide for the common defense, and I love the interstate highway system. I'll really love it today as I'm driving around. But you know, these other things, we have to, as a state legislature, assert our rights collectively around the country to prevent the federal government from doing certain things. And that's not only true for what's in the Constitution, the enumerated powers, but also, I think under Article 5, we need to begin to assert changes to the Constitution to inhibit the federal government. So I'm starting to get heavily into policy right now, but this is more really about an announcement and an introduction. So Cheryl's very excited. But we, you know, obviously she's been doing this for a long time, so, you know, I've often said that it's really the candidate and their spouse who I think really understand most about what a campaign is about, so she's going to have a lot of fun, for sure.
Are you tearing up?
So, that's that.
So, do you expect any opposition back in the primary?
Yeah, you know, as some of you may know, John Adams announced earlier, about a month ago, and my expectation is there will be other people. I was talking with on a different issue with a chairman over in a different county, and we were talking about things. And I mentioned I was going to run. He said, you and everybody else over there, and so there may be other people running.